that are on rolling racks. And so we have paintings just sort of stacked on these racks. And it's kind of like walking into like a closet almost, where you have, lots of things cheek by jowl to get the space together. So when we were looking at this, we really didn't know how it would look on a wall. And it's always a really dramatic moment when you take something that's in maybe not ideal lighting and it's in storage, and put it on a gallery wall and light it properly. It's just a really, really incredible transformation. And this painting did not disappoint in Marcia's work. Really, we almost put it on a wall by itself because it just has so much space.
Pristine condition.
Well, it's very well. So we have our storage is up to standards with most big museums, and so we have great climate control and humidity and environmental controls, and it stays in the dark, and it has its own special spot on the rack, and doesn't, we just respect the art and take good care of it. Some works, when we have them for a while, we prioritize them for conservation, but this painting is in such great shape that it really doesn't need it. And it's just really exciting to us that it's in the frame, and it's all, it's like the whole thing is a historical piece, and a lot of times paintings lose that history and that connection with their site, so we're really excited.
And how did you know who had it? Was there some kind of information attached to the painting?
We received, with everything that comes into our collection, we document as much as possible, and this and everything gets, a unique identifying number, and so we have files that connect it to the Child Hassan Fund, and kind of go back to the donors. I have to say, we don't have a lot of, especially for the works that we acquired in the 50s and 60s, we have kind of superficial information that we always are trying to do more research on, because we were not a standalone museum at that point. We were, it was fine arts faculty who were collecting for a university collection.
Well, that's interesting.
So they didn't have
because it's a wonderful space. So this is all new.
This is all new. This is it's almost 10 years old now. So 2010 is when we opened source.
And when did you start researching this show? When does that process?
Well,
what's your process with that?
Very active schedule, and this gallery is intended to be about permanent collection materials, and it's also intended to show kind of a range of different materials. So we come up with really broad themes, and my research is on theatricality in images that go back to the 18th century, so 18th century. And so I was just sort of interested to bring that theme to our collection and think about all of the different artworks that we have that in some way speak to people expressing themselves, not through portraits, but by their bodies and hand gesture and clothing or pose, and how that could really kind of connect art. So I think we started working on this, I'm going to say in January or February, but we really
Of this year.
Of this
so
year.
it came together. It came
Yeah.
together kind of quickly for us. We like to have a lot more time to do a show, but we had just done a really major show, and we're looking to put together something visually compelling and bring some works that hadn't been on view. So I don't think this work has been on view in this museum building since we've been a museum.
And it's
building.
perfect space because, she painted huge. Maybe a few small ones, Jane, but most of them were the size of her apartment.
Yeah.
What's your full name?
Hope Saska. Saska.
S-O-S-K.
Saska.
Okay.
I'm interested in your view of the researching movement of the whole body going back. What did you find in that respect?
I think it's about, there's a lot of literature that talks about handwriting and artist gestures. So an artist at a canvas, their
In case you ever
personality and artistic mode of being is expressed physically. And so I was really thinking about that connection between the physicality of painting, the physicality of representing subjects, and then also kind of the cult of the artist as all, like painting is being a performance. And so I was really interested in thinking about the 18th century, about connecting these personalities and artists who were starting to be famous personalities too, and how that worked. And so, it is, because there is always a physical relationship between an artist and the work, and that comes through in the gestures of painting or the way the artist relates to a canvas. And so I was trying to kind of convey some of that, and I tried to pick artists.
So do you paint also?
No.
But you have real connection to it, and to the physical aspect.
I think a lot about that, yeah. I think I work on works on paper, so drawings and prints are my specialty, and so thinking about things that have a really immediate physical connection with viewers and the artwork. So for me, it's just really important to think about. So it's really exciting that they're dancers and performers too, that there's that representation is carried through. So I really like to think about that a lot.
Any final words that you would like to say?
I just can't say how touched I've been by this visit, and how really grateful I am that we've been in contact. And also I'm so excited to see what comes of future projects related to Marcia and her work. Like, I think the catalog raisonné or exhibitions is just going to be really, really wonderful to see, her work elevated to the level where it should be, and in terms of the art history of American 20th century art. So just super excited to see what you do next. It's wonderful to see the family support and the love for Marcia and for her work that we got to see here today. So thank